Hi everyone, welcome back to the AI language. So today we are going to explore how to build a distributed multi-agent system that combines Google's agent-to-agent protocol or A2A with Anthropic's model context protocol known as MCP. And by the end of this video, you will see exactly how a front-end client, a central host orchestrator, remote A2A agents and external MCP servers all communicate seamlessly to solve real-world tasks. First, let's talk about why we want to bring these two protocols together. MCP, which is shown in the green branch over here, was launched by Anthropic in November 24. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol and it gives large language models a standardized way to call external tools. Anything from running shell commands to querying databases or performing web searches. On the other hand, Google released A2A protocol, which stands for Agent to Agent Protocol, which is shown over here in this red branch in April 2025. This lets full-blown AI agents discover one another and hand off tasks over HTTP using JSON RPC. In short, MCP helps one model talk to tools and A2A lets one model talk to another model. By combining these two, we empower our system to leverage specialized tools and to orchestrate multiple agents, each with its own unique skill set. So how does this architecture work? Our architecture has three main layers which are shown over here on the top. So the first is the front-end client. So this is the A2A MCP front-end. The second is the entire system that we're designing, which is the A2A MCP multi-agent system. And the third is basically remote A2A agents and MCP servers, which we expect to be third-party agents and servers that we want to connect our system to. These might also be the servers and agents that we have created locally that we want our system to use. So we as the developers basically build layers 1 and 2. That's what we focus on, and anyone can provide these additional A2A agents or MCP servers, and our system will basically discover and integrate them dynamically. So here's the final data flow. The user submits a query via the front end and the A2A client forwards it using A2A to the host agent or the orchestrator, and this is basically available through an A2A server. So the A2A server is what exposes the host agent to the A2A client on the front end. The orchestrator's LLM does the discovery of the MCP tools and of all the agents, and then it picks the right tool or agent. So it might use the green branch to call MCP tools and get the response, or it might use the red branch to delegate a task to a remote agent and get the response back. It might use both of them, and then it basically collects the responses, stitches them together if needed, and then returns the final answer. The user basically sees the final answer and they don't see the entire complexity which happens on the backend. Now this architecture is super beneficial because it delivers one important thing, which is modularity. So you can basically add or remove these agents and these tools without touching this core orchestration logic over here. You just need to add your MCP servers to the MCP config.json file, and you just need to add your agents to the agent registry file. This design is also scalable because each agent or tool server runs on its own container or process, and you can have as many servers and agents as you like or as much as what the large language model's context allows. Then there's a lot of flexibility in this design to decide at runtime which component is best for the task. So do you want to take the green branch and call an MCP tool, or do you want to take the red branch and call an A2A agent to fulfill the query from the user? And this is also pretty resilient because each MCP server and A2A agent is basically running on a separate container or process. So if one of them fails or is not available for some reason, the entire system does not fall down and your system still works. For these reasons, I think this is a very good system design for our next video, where we'll actually roll up our sleeves and implement a live demo. So we'll spin up 3 A2A agents like we did last time for the video on A2A working with multiple agents. And this time we'll wire them together with MCP servers. So we'll at least use one MCP server that exposes the shell of the local machine to run local commands, and you'll get to see all that code, the startup scripts, the discovery process, the connectors, and the orchestration logic, and how this all works together, where you'll actually be able to type in a query to either run a command through your MCP server or type in a query to actually perform a task through a remote agent, all through the same app front end and a single host orchestration agent. So first let's talk about our front end client. Imagine a user on a web or mobile app or even a command line interface, and they log in and type a question. Say search the latest funding news for Acme Corp and hit enter. Behind the scenes, that query is routed to our A2A client, which speaks the A2A protocol to our host or orchestrator. The user doesn't see any of this complexity, they simply get back the answer. Now let's dive into the host agent or orchestrator agent. That's the brain of our system. So the host agent itself has an A2A server, which means that it can receive requests like tasks, etc. on A2A protocol, and it can be discovered using the A2A protocol, which is what our A2A client uses. The other thing is basically it's an orchestrator agent. So it has something called an orchestrator, which can actually do two things. It can list all the agents and all the MCP servers that it has through a process called discovery. And then it can delegate tasks to that agent, or it can give those tasks to the MCP tools through the MCP client. So let's talk about discovery first. On startup or during runtime, the host agent can basically use a discovery process to list all the agents that are registered in an agent registry. So it basically gets the URLs for the other agents' A2S servers. These URLs are mentioned in the registry, which is basically used by the orchestrator to get a list of available agents. At the same time, again during startup or during runtime, it can use an MCP connector to list all the MCP servers that are available by accessing something called an MCP config.json, which is a kind of a registry for all the MCP servers that are available. So again, it can get all the server details like the command that you need to run the server, the path for the server script file, and in case you are actually implementing servers over the web, it can also get the server URL. We'll actually be looking at local servers for now in this particular system. So that is one role of the orchestrator, to get the information about available agents and available MCP servers. The second role of the orchestrator agent is to delegate tasks. So the orchestrator, after reading all the MCP server URLs, uses an MCP client and connects through the model context protocol to these servers to get a list of all the tools. At the same time, it also gets a list of all the agent cards, their skill set and capabilities. So in a way, now it sees all the MCP tools as tools assigned to the LLM, which can be called by the LLM individually. And it sees two tools, which is list agents and delegate task, which are the two tools it can actually call to list all the available agents and delegate tasks to a particular agent. So when a query arrives from the front end and the A2A client, the orchestrator's internal LLM inspects the query against the tool belt and then decides which branch to take. So it might either provide a response to the query using its own internal LLM, or it might decide to take either the green branch or the red branch. If it cannot handle the task on its own, it will list all the agents to see what other agents are available, and it will already have a list of MCP tools assigned to the internal large language model as tools, which it can actually call to fulfill the query. So if the task is best handled by another AI agent, like let's say planning a trip, the orchestrator might use those A2A agents and delegate the task to them. Once the task is delegated, an agent connector spins up an A2A client, which can speak through A2A protocol to the A2A server for that helper agent that the orchestrator wants to use. This helper or remote agent might have its own orchestrator to then talk to further agents using A2A protocol. And once it has the response, it basically sends it back to the A2A client, which then sends it back to the host agent or orchestrator over here. So this is like calling a colleague across a network to help you with part of the task and then get back that response to make a final reply to your client. On the other hand, the host agent might decide to use the green branch. So if the request requires a specialized tooling, running a shell command, retrieving a database schema, or performing advanced computations, the orchestrator might use the green branch, and it already has a list of tools available with it, which it has previously loaded. So it basically will directly call that tool through the model context protocol by using something that we call an MCP connector. So the MCP connector basically spins up an MCP client that uses the model context protocol to call the tool for the orchestrator, and the orchestrator provides specific input arguments that the tool needs, and then it basically gets a response back. If you enjoyed this architecture walkthrough, please like this video and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our hands-on tutorial which is going to come up next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.